going to happen, but until we get to that, we can talk about some of the games that we witnessed over the weekend. This was the big one at the Garden. The Knicks beat the Lakers. That's their 6th straight win. Team meetings, I guess. Who knew? They have now matched, wait for it, the Hornets for the longest win streak in the NBA currently, never in a million. Paul Pierce recently said the Knicks aren't missing any pieces. They are not, and have enough to come out in the East. You know what? This is a conversation that we will continue to have. If they hit a slump again, we'll say the opposite. But as for now, do they?
I think that's still a question in the air. I still think they are figuring out their team, which is, pretty crazy to say at this point in the season. Do I think that, team camaraderie is all the way there? I'm not sure. It's still, rumbles of, not necessarily getting along and being on the same page. And, it even comes to the point where it's certain guys calling out other certain guys in the media. So, I don't know. To sit there and ignore and act like that isn't something that has an effect on the team, that would be foolish. So, I do think they still have things to figure out. But on paper, they had a talent. They've been together long enough. They have the experience together. It's just about, remaining consistent. The East is up and down right now. It is some, late bloomers in the East right now. And a team that comes to mind is a team like the Celtics. So to say, can they come out? I do think they're a piece away. I do think they need to add another scoring option. I think it's a lot of pressure on Brunson every night to be the go-to guy. So I do think they need one more go-to guy. But to say, can they come out right now? I think that's still in the air. I think that's something they still have to figure out as a team.
I understand what he's alluding to, though. Like, if you look at the Knicks, they have depth. They have guys that can score the basketball. They've changed their identity in being a defensive-minded basketball team, half-court defense. Half-court offense is going to be important when you look at playoff basketball. So when you look at the New York Knicks and the way that they've been able to transform themselves in the last 3 to 4 weeks of play, after their players-only meeting and then going out and having a statement win against Brooklyn, winning by 50-plus points, and then taking that momentum and still playing very good basketball, they're passing all of the eye tests. So I understand what Double P was going with that, but my concerns are there's other teams that's playing just as well and has just as much depth that the New York Knicks have. You're looking at the Boston Celtics. They're starting to roll. They were a team that we were up in the air about. They're passing the eye test right now, and Detroit has been inconsistent as well. So when you look at those three teams, New York, yes, they're in that conversation, but I'm looking at the Celtics of the world. I'm looking at the Detroits of the world. They've just been more consistent. But I like the fact that the Knicks have turned the corner. So I can see what he's trying to say here. With they don't have any missing pieces. They got a lot of good things that's going in their direction right now.
Well, the trade deadline is Thursday, and there have been reports from our guy Sam Amick about Cat specifically that go back to the summer, actually, because of all the trade talks and whisperings and murmurings about him involved in a trade that could possibly bring Giannis to New York City. Well, as you may or may not have heard, all of those talks have been picking up again this entire time. So I'm wondering, you got Cat with hard feelings. He's got the fewest points since his rookie season. Last night was not what I would call a stellar night for Cat at the office, Lou.
Yeah.
How does this play out in that regard?
Well, look, the business is the business, right? And you can have your hard feelings and you can feel how you feel about some of these certain things. That's the nature of the beast. You play better, and sometimes even if you play good, you're going to be in trade talks. If you play bad, you're going to be in trade talks. I think Cat should take this as a sign of respect and as a sign of him being a valuable asset and a valuable piece to make things move around. Now, again, the honeymoon is over. So when he got there, he was Bodega Cat and had all of these nicknames. He was embraced in New York. He's a New Jersey Cat. He was embraced across the bridge. But now the New York Knicks have a certain identity, a certain way that they like to play. They want their players to be gritty and grimy. And Cat was showing that. He hasn't had that type of year this year since Mike Brown has been the coach and him trying to find where he fits in this offense. But you got to put all that aside, especially if your team is rolling. If your team is rolling, put aside your individual and your personal stuff and put something to the table. He hasn't played great basketball, and it's probably affecting him, but he got to be a pro. He got to suck that up and continue to play well. And so, him having hard feelings with the Knicks, we've all been there before. You're playing for a team, you're giving it your all, you're giving it your best effort, and you're constantly hearing your names in talks. And people saying that you're not doing good enough and you're not wanted. That can mess with your psyche a little bit, but best he can, he has to go out and be a pro and try to put numbers on the board for the New York Knicks.
I agree with you, Lou. There is no excuse. That can't be the reason or your excuse as to, why you haven't played at a high level or, playing to the level that we all expect you to. Like Lou said, this is a part of the business. Everybody's name has been a part of trade, rumors, and things of that nature, so that's no excuse. For me, if that's something that's really bothering you and you feel like, they're viewing you in the wrong way, go out and prove them wrong. You know what I mean? Go out there and have 30 and 12 games. And I guarantee their whole mindset as far as, are we good enough right now or should we try to add something? I think that changes with, the right play to go along with it. So like Lou said, it's about being a professional. It's about, playing through the noise, the loud noise that's around you. And that's all you can really do as a competitor. Control what you can control and go out there and put it on the floor. So I agree.
But I like the clips that we just saw, right? Like, get it out the mud. He's on the offensive glass. He's giving his team second chance opportunities, giving himself second chance opportunities. So even if he's not having a great, efficient year that he wants to have, it's different ways that you can impact the game. Going down and doubling, not allowing your teammate to play on the island with Luka by himself. Use your body, use your size to go make a difference on the defensive end. On the offensive end, like we just said, crash the glass. Get you 3 or 4 offensive rebounds a game, turn those into layups. That's 6 to 8 easy points a game that helps you out with your confidence. Now the rim looks huge to you. Now the rim looks big. You're getting 6 to 8 easy ones. You add 5 to 6 free throws into that. Now you only got to make 4 or 5 shots to get to your 20-point average. Now that's a difference in your confidence. So I like the fact of him just trying to find ways to impact the game. But on the mental side, you got to let the trade talks go. It's going to be what you're going to be. It's out of your control. It's out of your hands. The organization is going to do what they want to do anyways. Best thing you can do is go out, have a positive outlook, and do your best thing. End of the day, banks go everywhere. It's a bank in every city.
That's true.
Take your money with you,
Absolutely.
And you're probably going to go into a scenario where you still have an opportunity to be as equally as successful as you are with the Knicks. So, those are things that Cat can control. He can't really bog himself down with the things that's out of his hands.
Can I ask a question about the mental? I mean, obviously every single one of us is wired differently. Some of us love adversity and that kind of gets us up and more motivated. Some people sort of shy away from it. I think most of us look at Cat and think that he doesn't necessarily thrive when it feels like his backup is up against the wall. Does he feel like he's on an island, or is he looking to teammates? Like, how does that work?
From the outside looking in, I would say it's more so I don't think he feels supported within the organization. I feel like he's the oddball out with this group. And easily so. I mean, this is a group that dates all the way back to college. They won a collegiate championship together. So, being put in that mix with that group of guys, it would be easy to feel like the oddball out. But as far as the, handling the emotional part with, everything going around, like Lou said, this is something that's just a part of the business. This can't be something that affects you every single night.
And he has been traded before.
He's been traded before.
Right.
And on top of that, like I said, if it's affecting you that much and you feel like, they're in the wrong for even feeling that way, then go prove them wrong. It's literally that simple. Go put together a 10-game streak of the Cat we're expecting and that we're used to. And I guarantee, the rumors and the narratives around your name changes. And that's how quick ball and this sport change is literally overnight.
And we've been hearing about this since the beginning of the season.
My goodness.
It was a conversation at the beginning of the season about how he felt about his role. So this was always a thing. Before they even got into the swing of the season, this was already a conversation. Yep. Yeah, we're 40-plus games in now. We either got this thing figured out or we don't. And if you don't have it figured out, you should be the first person saying, I agree with y'all, trade me.
Right.
I agree, this not working out. But if he wants to be there, you got to suck some of that up and you got to get over it.
I agree.
Take a little attention over to the Lakers. Obviously, the losers in this one. They've had